to today's video of the Adventures of Sadie and Jaden.
Today we're going to be talking about the very important topic of what is One Direction's best album.
Because we have very different opinions on this.
I think that the best One Direction album is Midnight Memories.
And I think it's 4.
She's wrong. Okay, we thought very long and hard about why these albums are our favorite albums, and we have lists of our reasoning.
Yeah, we don't know what the other
person's reasons are.
We both spent like 3 hours last night.
Yeah, we listened to like the albums in their entirety and like made notes. So that being said, my top 5 on Midnight Memories: Story of My Life, Don't Forget Where You Belong, Strong, Why Don't We Go There, Half a Heart.
Okay, mine are definitely not in order of the album. They're like
I wrote them in order of the track list.
Mine is like in my like top 5, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay, yours is like in what order you like.
Yeah.
them. Okay.
My top 5 is number 1's 18, and then 2 is Night Changes, Fool's Gold, Spaces, and No Control. Those are bops.
I decided that I'm making Jaden go first because I have more reasons than she does.
Yeah, she treated this as like a whole structured debate.
Take it very
Anyway.
seriously and very passionate.
Okay, I have to like turn towards you so you don't read my reasons.
Okay.
Okay, so why is 4 the best album? So my reasons why is 4 the best album: when comparing 4 and Midnight Memories has more like upbeat songs that you can like sing in the car or like jam. But this is not opinion. This is just a simple fact that like when 4 came out, it was their most mature sounding album. Okay. So I feel like, my personal opinion, 4 is the album that really kind of broke them out of that boy band-ish, like, vibe, you know? Okay? You're giving me such dirty looks. I don't like this.
That's not a dirty look.
Anyway,
I just think
so
it's interesting.
just, like, going off that, the theme, first of all, the theme is, like, it's something that I really love. I've never been really able to figure out the theme of Midnight Memories, but in my opinion, the theme... the theme of 4 is just like the uncertainty of a first love. You know, it's like a deep, unconditional, like sometimes really confusing love, and that is right up my alley. So, I feel like all the rest of One Direction's albums are all like about like the ideal relationship, if that makes sense. And 4 is the one where it kind of like starts to highlight like realistic relationships. Like take Fool's Gold, like they know that the girl doesn't love them, but they don't care because they just want to be wanted. And then like Spaces and Clouds, like it just has all these songs about like different like types and situations of relationships. So my next reason that I love 4 so much, I feel like 4 is kind of just like a blast to the past. I feel like it's kind of like a nod to like 80s rock. Case in point, okay. Fireproof. That song is like it just has like such 80s, like 70s, 80s vibes. And just like Where Do Broken Hearts Go, like the beginning of that song gives me ABBA vibes. Anyway, but like Change Your Ticket especially, and like Act My Age. Another reason that I like it is because like the complex lyrics, and I'm not saying that like any other album doesn't have complex lyrics, but just an example of some of my favorite lyrics. I built you a house from a broken home, and I wrote you a song with the words you spoke. From Where Do Broken Hearts Go? From Fool's Gold, I know your love's not real, that's not the way it feels, that's not the way you feel. When Zayn sang that, I felt that. There's nothing to be afraid of, even when the night changes. I like that one. And then another reason is because this was One Direction's last album with Zayn, which I just feel like it's the last like real One Direction album, because obviously Made in the AM was super good, but it's the last one with all 5 of them. And so also Zayn's high notes were heavenly in this album. Like they're always heavenly, but I feel like in this album especially. Another reason is because 18 is on it, and that is their best song. And then my last reason is because No Control was Louis' time to shine. Louis Tomlinson deserves so much better, and No Control, he peaked with No Control. Okay, that's my reason. Sadie is about to Give us a whole best-selling novel. So
let's go. Okay, my favorite album is Midnight Memories. I feel like this album has like songs that sound like classic One Direction, like Up All Night and Take Me Home. For example, Best Song Ever has the same kind of feel as What Makes You Beautiful and Live While We're Young. But that being said, this album is when their music, I mean, you said that their most mature lyrics are on 4. That's probably true, but I think that this album was when they started to become more mature in their music, like all around. I think that with this album, you can see the way that their music grew as they grew up. Okay. In this album, they experimented with their sound more than they had before. I think that you can hear like hints of each of their like individual styles in this album. And then my next thing is that the quality of their music overall increased greatly with Midnight Memories.
That's
like
key.
so much, like production-wise, but mostly lyrically. For example, with how production-wise and lyrically they improved, Strong. Of any One Direction song ever, Strong has the best chorus. That is just fact. And I think that that chorus is so like powerful, and I think it's moving like musically and lyrically. So then, okay, so for me personally, with music, my favorite part will always be lyrics. Like that's always going to be, I don't care if the song has the best beat you've ever heard. I don't care. If the lyrics are trash, I'm not gonna like it. So with music, I like storytelling in songs. So I put that I feel like this album has a lot of that. And there are things that like they sing them and you can see them. For example, I put Through the Dark. Like, I will carry you over fire and water for your love. Like, I can, like, it paints, like, a picture in my mind. I don't know if that's how everybody else feels listening to this album, but I feel like that with the whole album. Let's see. Then, next, this album, I feel like is their most personal and their most meaningful when it comes to, like, what they were thinking and feeling. This album was when they started writing songs that were, like, directed to their fans, like Diana. And things like that, they started addressing, like, real topics. I think that their first 2 albums are more just like on the surface lyrics, and with this album they started to dig like deeper with what they were saying, and they started to use more detail with their songs and telling like about the situations and like their feelings. For example, Story of My Life, like she told me in the morning she don't feel the same about us in her bones. Seems to me that when I die these words will be written on my stone. Are you kidding? That's so good. That's so good. Although it has broken my heart is untamed still. Like that song. I feel that song so like deep. Like I feel it like physically. Another thing, I feel that this is their most real album. I think that of any of their albums, this is the album that was like, I don't know, I feel like this album showed who they were more than any of their other albums did. I think that after, like by the time they had released this album, their lives had changed like so drastically. And you see that in songs like Don't Forget Where You Belong and Right Now. Like you see the way that their lives had changed and the way that it was affecting them. I think that they're more like open with that with this album than they are with any of the other ones. I also think that this album is the most like One Direction that One Direction ever was, because by this time they had figured out who they wanted to be as a band. I think that it's their like most authentic album. I feel like their last 2 albums, they're more forced. By the time 4 came out, Zayn wanted to bounce, like hardcore. They were more like in a place where they could have done solo stuff. Made in the AM is like without Zayn, and then after that they took a break. Like I feel like this album was like their most natural album. I feel like it was their peak. I just feel like it's their most like personal. Yeah, I feel like this album wasn't forced at all. I feel like it was just natural. I feel like at this point in time they were so excited about their music. Okay, then I think that like I love the overall feel of this album more than any of their other albums. It's not sonically cohesive. If you don't know what that means, it means that the songs don't all necessarily sound like they'd all be strung together. An album that's sonically cohesive, they all sound similar enough that they would
be on the
You'd
same
think that they
album.
would belong on the same album. I like that this album is not sonically cohesive because all of the songs are different, like in their own way. I feel like this is like such a diverse album. There's like a song for absolutely everything on this album. There are songs like You and I that I feel like are like cozy and warm. And then there are songs that I cry to, like Something Great and I Have a Heart. And then there are songs like Happily and Why Don't We Go There that you like blast in the summertime when you're driving with your windows down. Like there are songs for absolutely everything on this album. Funny how you would say that you've never understood the theme of Midnight Memories, because thinking about this, I decided that for me, this album feels like freedom and adventure and discovery, not just in like life and like, oh, let's go do something spontaneous, but in love too. They discover like love and heartbreak in a different way, I feel like, than they had. But yeah, all the songs are like, they're different, but they all fit together with like those general themes of the album. There you have it.
Okay. Now I feel like we do need to do a disclaimer. I love Midnight Memories so much. It's my second favorite album, but 4 will just always have my heart. I do love Midnight Memories. I
4's a bop.
appreciate the reasons that she gave. I agree with a lot of them, but 4 just always takes the cake for me.
Midnight Memories. Okay, well, anyways, that's how we feel. If you like One Direction enough to have a say in this,
Yeah, let us know.
let us know.
What your favorite album is. We love all their albums. They're all really good.
Yeah, we love One Direction, just in general. I love Midnight Memories.
I love 4. So, catch us in our next video. Thanks for
Bye.
watching. Like and subscribe, because we're official YouTubers now.
Turn on our notifications.
Okay, bye.
Bye.